Thank you, Chris, and what an honor it is to receive this award today. You know, you've already heard this morning, and I think you're going to hear a little more today, that there are so many people walking the tightrope between poverty and self-sufficiency. And despite even best efforts, working multiple jobs, going to school, a single setback can throw things completely off course. I'm the only one of my siblings to go to college, and in my first semester of college, my girlfriend got pregnant. And I realized I was going to have to leave school and get a job to provide for this child. 2 days after my 19th birthday, my son was born, and by the time I was 21, I was a full-time single dad. I'd been working since I was 15, but they were jobs, gas station attendant, fast food, things like that. The fact is I didn't have any marketable job skills, and I didn't have a professional network, and I didn't know the first thing about starting a career. So when people come to the Stride Center, I truly see myself in them. Many are single parents. Many have lost a job and can't get another one, or are in a low-wage job that's never going to provide for them or their families. And many have faced hurdles far greater than I ever faced. But all of them come to the Stride Center with a deep desire for economic and social mobility. They just can't afford the skills they need to get there. I avoided the backslide into poverty because I had options. I was fortunate that I had an adult in my life who introduced me to a fairly new company at the time called Tandem Computers. So I look out at this audience, there's probably a few of you that remember Tandem Computers. They hired me as a shipping receiving clerk, and I started climbing the corporate ladder from there. Within 15 years, I was managing a $500 million supply chain for Sun Microsystems. But the workforce has changed a lot since then. In the 80s, you would go to work for a company like Sun Microsystems or maybe IBM, and there was a pretty good chance you could imagine being there for a long time, maybe for your whole career. Today, the workforce is significantly bigger. It's a lot faster. People are moving from company to company much more frequently. And at any level in this employer environment, it's difficult to be seen. But if you don't have formal education in your background or relevant work experience, it's really hard. At the Stride Center, we provide everything a person needs to start a career in the technology field. It's not just technical training, although of course that's obviously important. But it's lots of other things that we bring into our training program. We bring in interpersonal skills development, attitudes and behaviors, how to get a job, career attainment skills, and career navigation skills, and certainly more than that as well. Many tech programs today target young people, but at the Stride Center, you're eligible at any age and at little or no cost. Our program is very fast-paced, our classes are small with constant feedback, and we operate a social enterprise so people can get relevant work experience as they're going through the program. Altogether, we offer 6 stackable technical certifications, from help desk technician to network administrator, server administrator, cybersecurity, and software development and coding. These certificates are universally recognized, so Stride Center graduates are competing for jobs in the open job market. In fact, last year alone, Stride Center graduates went to work for 120 different Bay Area companies. Last month, we encouraged a group of students from our software development and coding class to join a hackathon in the city of Richmond at the Meeting of the Minds conference. They were asked to design a health application for Richmond residents. After a weekend spent developing their concept, our team was selected to move forward to compete for the final first prize with 2 other teams. One of the other teams was a group of graduate students from UC Berkeley. This group had clearly used design thinking in their approach. They had interviewed the people that could be the end users. They empathized with them, which is a central component of design thinking. And as the Stride Center got up in a room about this size to pitch their idea, it occurred to me, our students are the end users. They developed an app, a health application, to help people in the city of Richmond compete for free physical fitness challenges and then get local businesses on board to offer incentives and rewards. They knew the incentives that would resonate, how the interface should look and feel. They had insights the Berkeley team missed. It's no surprise to me that the Stride team won the $5,000 first prize. And here's why I tell you that story. Increasingly, tech jobs today don't require college or advanced degrees. They do require a certain combination of entrepreneurial skills, diverse points of view, and clever ideas. The reality is that today's workforce needs the talent Stride Center is developing. The Stride Center has been a Tipping Point grantee since 2009, and that means that virtually every facet of our organization has been touched by Tipping Point. Our first unrestricted grant gave us the confidence to move from a very small location in the very small town of San Pablo in a strip mall to a high-rise in downtown Oakland, effectively tripling our capacity to train people. Since then, investments in our database, in our financial management structures, and even in our employee recruiting strategies have helped us become a stronger, more sophisticated organization. Recently, Tipping Point helped us develop an alumni survey that we administer every 6 months that helps us understand what's happening with our graduates. Before this, we did know that the tech field offers entry-level wages above self-sufficiency. But now we know that Stride Center graduates are seeing an average of 30% wage gains in the first 18 months after they start working. These advances came about because each year we set specific targets with Tipping Point, and then we work together to make sure we achieve those targets, these stretch goals. We are completely transparent with Tipping Point, and as a result, nobody knows us better. It was a perfect transition for me to move from the corporate world. I'm sorry, I'm going to back up because there's another point that I want to make before that, and that is that I had an epiphany when my son went to college. I was still a pretty young guy because I was a pretty young parent. But I had an epiphany, and that was that I'm a person who wants to be of service, and that I needed to nurture the part of me that was fulfilled as a parent. So it was a perfect transition for me to go from working in the corporate world to a nonprofit that helps people start careers in the corporate world. I know tech, I believe in it, and I was able to provide a wonderful life for my son and for myself through it. This region is thriving because of the tech industry. And the Stride Center is providing access to careers, living wage careers, for hundreds of people in tech companies that can't hire fast enough. One of our graduates, Miguel, was an A student at San Francisco State, but had to drop out when he could no longer afford the tuition. Sorry, I've got to find my place here. After waiting tables at the Olive Garden for 5 years, Miguel saw a flyer about the Stride Center. He turned out to be just a fantastic student at Stride, just as he was at San Francisco State. In fact, such a strong student that we actually had him co-teaching some of the lessons in the class. Ultimately, Miguel was hired as an IT person at Greenworks, and today he owns his own home. Before Stride, I was coasting, Miguel told me, not saving any money. This program changed the way I thought about myself. It reminded me I didn't have to wait tables for the rest of my life taking people's orders. It reminded me I could be great. At Stride, we don't transform anybody's lives. Our students transform their own lives. We create a pathway and a place for them to do that. You know, I had a boss midway through my career who saw something in me. He believed in me, and he saw potential in me that I didn't necessarily see in myself. There is something that happens when a person that you respect tells you they believe in you and then backs that up with action. That's what Tipping Point does for the Stride Center. And we, in turn, are doing that for our clients. We help people transition from thinking they're great to knowing it, to being successful because of it. So thank you very much for recognizing us today and for honoring our work.